Good day, sir. I'm delighted to share my insights to our lessons that we've discussed on the half of the semester for the final requirement in our subject. To introduce myself, my name is Mary Jane Simosende, and I am your student in IE 404 Industrial Organization and Management, Section IE 2101. I thought it would be helpful to share a roadmap of what I'm planning to share with you, and this will be divided into 6 sections about physical facilities, production planning and control, inventory control, work study, personnel management, and job merit and evaluation. To start off, let me share my learning insights about physical facilities. Last October 26, 2021, we had the first lesson discussion after midterm examination about physical facilities. To introduce the topics or the concepts that we discussed, it was all about the factors that will be needed to consider when it comes to choosing the best location for that plant. Then after that, what are the facilities that are going to put up inside the manufacturing plant? And another thing, the physical layout of that manufacturing plant. Also, when it comes to that manufacturing plant, what are the services that are going to be provided to the employees or workers so that workers will become more suited or compatible to their works? Because workers should be considered when it comes to putting up the layout and services. It is critical to initially identify different sites in which the manufacturing plant may thrive because making the right decisions regarding where to locate manufacturing facilities is essential for competing in global marketplaces. Those who make the best decisions can acquire a significant competitive advantage. So before making a selection, we must do a thorough locational analysis that takes into account a variety of elements that impact the decision. Consider the options carefully before settling on a company site. Accessibility to suppliers is critical for reducing logistical expenses. A good location may significantly minimize the cost of manufacturing and delivery. Nobody wants to spend more money on transportation than necessary. Another thing, the layout of the plant is an important aspect of the timely execution of orders. An ideal layout avoids reasons for delays such as a lack of space, long-distance material transports, and damaged work. Designing a correct layout is vital since it has a direct relationship with the operational efficiency and manufacturing costs. A badly conceived layout will lead to inefficiencies and losses over the plant's lifespan. Plant layout decisions cannot be made once and for all. For example, when additional manufacturing space is added on-site, the plant layout often gets less and less optimum. During an expansion, a whole plant is seldom relocated, rather only a selection of the plant is altered. As a result, departments that were formerly near to one another become divided over time. Material handling and storage become more complicated with more opportunities for delay or mistake. In brief, interplant transportation and communication become stressed, frequently compromising product delivery and quality. As a result, it is essential to design the layout in such a way that it is adaptable. The efficiency of production is determined by how efficiently the different machinery, manufacturing facilities, and amenities are arranged in a facility. An effective plant layout is one that seeks to achieve a variety of goals such as efficient usage of floor space, cost minimization, operational flexibility, employee convenience, improved productivity, and so on. Especially, the layout should be beneficial to staff health and safety. It should ensure free and efficient flow of men and materials. Future expansion and diversification may also be considered while planning factory layout. The changing nature of consumer demand is one of the major components in the transformation of manufacturing operations. These concepts can be applied in the future when manufacturers want to digitally redesign the layout and operation of plant activities. It frequently provides new chances for the firms to improve the whole process of converting the factory into a smart factory. The smart factory provides several business benefits, ranging from a more efficient, agile, and transparent production process to a linked ecosystem that leads to increased bottom-line efficiency and a safer workplace. For the next lesson learning insights, on November 9, 2021, we discussed the next topic about production planning and control. We have first watched a video about it and discussed the definitions, processes, and functions of production, planning, and control. Then afterwards, the discussion started. The topics and concepts that we talk is all about the systems, types, and functions of production planning and control. Also, the stages in production planning and control, which are the routing, scheduling, loading, ordering, dispatching, and follow-up. And the things that I have learned is that production planning and control are responsible for directing production along the lines established by the planning department. Production planning and control are concerned with two components of production planning and production control. The basic goal of production control is to ensure that the product is created using the best and cheapest methods possible, that it is of the appropriate quality, and that it is produced on schedule. To accomplish this goal, management prepares production ahead of time, determines the precise route or path of each item, establishes time schedules for each item, provides the appropriate orders and instructions, and begins the necessary follow-up to ensure seamless production. Two things are implied by production control. To begin, it assumes the presence of production planning in order to anticipate each step before the real operation begins. Second, it provides control mechanisms to ensure that plans are properly implemented and to remedy violations from defined standards. For example, a car manufacturing Atomic Wheels is developing a manufacturing facility for their flagship car. They plan on a flow method of the production, so they begin the production planning process by evaluating their manufacturing capacity at each stage of assembly. They use this information to make an estimate of how many cars they can produce each week, then make a plan for how many employees they need at each step, and what training and skills each position require. They input all this information into production planning software and use that to calculate how much material to order each week. Finally, they create a production schedule for how long the manufacturing process will take, when they can release their first car, and when they can ship it to the dealerships. Therefore, a production planning and control system in an organization organizes the operations of the engineering, procurement, and manufacturing and selling divisions to maximize productivity and quality. A well-established planning and control system helps to ensure that investors reap more economic rewards. No one disputes that technology will play a huge role in the factory of the future, but there's a lot of controversy over how technology will shape manufacturing facilities. So maybe in the next several years, the production planning and control will bring an increased focus on technology, personalization, and advanced planning techniques to the manufacturing industry. For the lesson about inventory control, on November 16, 2021, when we can have a Google Meet, there's an uploaded video and PowerPoint presentation for us to watch and analyze, because after that, we have to comment our learning insights about the lecture. The topics that we've discussed that belong to the inventory control are its important terms, objectives, the factors affecting inventory control, benefits, nature, functions, policies, inventory models, and the types of inventory costs in inventory control. Separated from the learning insight that I have said on the comment section in our Google Classroom, I have learned that inventory planning and control are always carried out as part of the operations management activities of business organizations. Inventory planning and control for these businesses entail the continuous provision of vital product components in a timely and cost-effective way that takes into account shifting levels of demand. The goal of keeping inventories is to allow the company to separate the processes of procuring, manufacturing, and marketing its key products. Inventories are a component of the firm's working capital and hence reflect a current account. Inventories are sometimes regarded as a near complete source of currency. The goal is to achieve cost-cutting efficiency in areas where they exist. Scientific inventory control results in stock reductions on the one hand and a significant decrease in critical shortages on the other. Inventory planning and control assists commercial organizations in maintaining stockpiles and obtaining replenishment plans that safeguard enterprises against shortages, supply chain breakdowns, and unexpected pricing fluctuations. Inventory control is concerned with the periodic evaluation of items in stock to detect those that are not required for planned production or for other non-necessary reasons, as well as whether outdated products continue to occupy storage space until they are removed from stores. Inventory control systems allow us to determine an appropriate amount of inventory as well as how much and when it should be ordered. The economic order quantity, or the EOQ, is the order size that results in the lowest sum of the order and carrying cost for an item of inventory given its projected usage, carrying cost, and ordinary cost. The company seeks to find the order size that would minimize overall inventory expenses by computing an economic order quantity. Business can use a variety of inventory control systems and associated strategies, depending on the amount of your inventory and the operations of your business. Each effort offers advantages and disadvantages. For example, retailers' demands may differ from those of a wholesaler. Begin by identifying your company goals and metrics to gain an understanding of your present and future requirements. Inventory control is critical for any organization, from a freshly founded brand to Amazon. It enables you to improve your cash flow and save money on inventory control. You may establish an inventory control plan that tracks your assets in real time by employing automated inventory control software solutions, providing you with visibility and control over your inventory. On November 23, 2021, we discussed our next lesson, which is about work study. We tackle about the benefits of work study, method study and its objectives and procedure, the factors to be considered while evaluating alternatives and selecting the best methods, work measurement and its objectives and technique. I have learned that work study serves as the foundation for work system design, and its goal is to find the most efficient way to perform required duties. Work study seeks to improve existing and suggested methods of conducting job as well as to set standard hours for work performance, job design, work measurement, and the development of time standards and worker remuneration all fall within the purview of work study. Work study is a procedure-oriented and systematic study to determine the optimal technique of doing an operation by research and analysis of all facts of the work or operation carried out in accordance with the established standard method. Work study is comprised of two techniques, method study and work measurement, or the time study. Method study is the systematic recording and critical assessment of existing and suggested ways of performing work, with the goal of inventing and using easier and more cost-effective methods. While work measurement, or the time study, is the use of tools to determine how long it takes a component worker to do a certain job at a particular level of performance. The primary goal of production management is to produce the proper number and quality of items at the right time and at the right cost. Work study is a technique for achieving this goal. The techniques of production are set throughout the product design and process design, and process planning is done using standard time frames and standard procedures. Method analysis directs how the task should be done, and time standards show how long it will take to finish the project. Process analysis and standard timings aid in maintaining control over the quality and quantity of manufactured goods. Standard costs are computed based on standard time frames, which aids in analyzing the difference between real and standard cost. Controlling product costs, which are a function of technique and standard time, is critical for competing. Compensation is based on standard time. For the last meeting, when we've discussed both personal management and job merit on December 7, 2021, we have a very knowledgeable time for that day. But the first lesson you've discussed was about the personal management, the elements, human relations, functions, employee relations, services and benefits to workers, personal record and personal research, labor turnover, and the criteria efficiency of personnel department. I have learned that personal management is a business function that largely deals with the administrative and record-keeping responsibilities associated with the company's whole personal lifetime. The term could refer to a variety of tasks and activities such as writing contracts and letters, paying salaries, and ensuring adherence to employment law and regulations in areas such as health and safety, employee discipline, grievance, and so on. HR management is a term that encompasses the activities undertaken in personal management but goes a step further to include additional elements. Most forward-thinking modern firms have seen a significant culture shift during the last 50 years or more. The emphasis has changed from people management to human resource management. This shift might be attributed to employees' personal drive and effort. For example, the term talent is now frequently used to characterize valuable personnel in an organization who contribute to the success of the company. HR and leadership teams alike have realized that caring for their employees entails more than just filling out forms and operating payroll systems. Initiatives that assist, inspire, and upskill them should be implemented. Personnel management concepts will invariably change from one company to the next. The majority of firms, however, think that successful personal development, excellent communication, labor dignity, and strong moral are the important criteria within the function and should be integrated into both HR and overall organization strategy of all levels. For job merit, which is job evaluation, merit rating, and wage incentives, we've talked about the principal methods and process of job evaluation, job analysis, job description, job specifications, merit rating, measurement of responsibility, and wage incentives and its systems. I have learned that job assessment is associated with merit rating, whereas merit rating is a systematic method or evaluation of the individual executing job skills and talents. The goal of job evaluation is to set compensation for employment based on variables such as competence, responsibility, and so on. In the case of merit rating, the goal is to evaluate the employee for purposes of promotion, training, salary raises, or incentives, among other things. Job evaluation takes into account job variations, whereas merit grading takes into account person differences. In the case of job evaluation, the variables to be evaluated are objective. However, in the case of merit rating, subjective traits are taken into account. Job evaluation is used to determine compensation, whereas merit rating is used to determine an individual's efficiency in doing certain tasks. Incentives are an excellent method to keep your staff motivated to accomplish their jobs to the best of their abilities. They have something to work towards by presenting something they can achieve if they hit a specific objective or achieve something. Industrial engineering is concerned with the coordination and optimal exploitation of numerous resources or inputs in order to promote efficient production and operation. In other words, industrial engineering is an engineering approach to thorough examination of the usage and cost of an organization's numerous resources. And as a future industrial engineer, what I learned in the subject industrial organization and management was a tremendous help for me to fulfill my duties and responsibilities as an industrial engineer of our economy someday. This made me have a better understanding how industries work, raise industries' contributions to economic well-being, and improve government policies in connection to these industries. And that brings us to the end. I'd like to thank you for your time and attention today. Thank you.